makes money. So my dad now called me like, son, I want you to do your masters. I said, Dad, because I don't get confidence. I said, Dad, this is what I want to do. Masters, that will be after, and that was it. The moral is you can do photography. Anyone can do photography. It's either you are a working class, you don't have any, you come from a wealthy home, anywhere you can become a photographer, and that's just it. So this afternoon I will start with a bit of photography. I know we don't have much time to dwell on it and all of that. So what is photography? Ask your neighbor, what is photography? What can you say about photography? All right. I have a simple definition for photography. To me, I would say photography is a way of communicating our feeling, our emotions, and telling stories about an event. The painful part of life is we don't know, like none of us have ever seen Jesus or God, because in heaven they don't have photographers, and it was so painful. And that was one of the reasons why I actually joined media department, because in heaven, all media department, all the members of media department are going to heaven, because we have our duties, we have roles to play. But choirs, we have a lot of choirs in heaven, So, all right. So photography to me is like you are telling a story. And how do I mean? Now I have you here, sir. There is a way I would actually take a capture of you that will tell people who will be seeing the picture that, oh, this person actually pay attention why this person is talking to me. I can actually snap this guy, and they will know that, oh, this guy over distracted not uncle. You understand? And the way he's sitting, there's a way I can actually snap him, even with the fact that he's distracted, that will make him feel like he's paying attention. That's what they call angles in photography. You snap from angles, like you have to be creative. You have to see it before I snap. Like now I'm looking at you, I know what I want to snap. Like you have to see it. I have to know the angle I want to snap from, and none of that. And in photography, we have three different departments in photography. Three different things you have to understand in photography. Number one is your capturing, your angles, taking pictures from different angles. Number two is lighting. Sorry, I will be very fast. Okay, number two is lighting, and number three is editing. So in this department, they all work ends in ends, because if you didn't take nice capture, then your lighting is a waste. Then you are going to edit, or your editing won't come out well. And if you have a nice capture and your lighting is not really balanced, you are not going to get a well-edited pictures. And you might be very, very good in taking pictures, snapping from different angle, having a very nice lighting. If you are not very good in editing, I can tell you the pictures will still not tell the story you want to tell. So these are major things you need to understand about photography: your lighting, your capturing, your lighting, and your editing. And at first, as a photographer, you have to start with your capturing. You have to start with your camera setting. You have to know how to set your cameras. And on cameras, number one thing you need to know on camera is how to set your ISO, ISO. We have ISO, we have speed, and we have aperture. ISO is an object in the camera that enhances the brightness and the darkness of your photography. How you want it to be, how lightened you want it to be. While your speed is the speed at which you capture, like the speed, the minutes at which the seconds at which it takes for you to capture your object. What do I mean? Okay, now we are in a prayer session. You are dancing. Like the seconds at which you move. If my speed is actually low, if I snap you at that moment and my speed is very low to your own speed, you see that some part of the picture will be blurry. So that's why you have to really know all of these things. Your speed must be balanced. Your aperture must be balanced and your ISO must be balanced. So in photography, like you can actually use them for each other. Like I can actually set my speed. I can use my speed in the place of my aperture, and I can use my aperture in the place of my ISO. But it will still fall back on the pictures because your aperture is the details, is the major objects that capture the details, that give you the details in your photography. If your aperture is too low, then the quality of your picture might not really come out well. So you have to say to the minimum level, and which is for a normal zoom lens, we have 4.5. For we have some lenses that has 4.0 for normal kit lens. That's the zoom lens. And we have two different lenses. That's zoom and prime lens. Your prime lens is you can't zoom with your prime lens, but it adds more details and more lighting to your photography. And when it comes to your prime lens, okay, let me just a simple example of prime lens and zoom lens is I don't know many of us are familiar with iPhone. We have normal photo if you want to snap, and we have portrait. Yeah, so your prime lens is just like your portrait. It will give you different details, different view, and it will beautify it more. You understand? So that's just the two differences in these lenses. So you have to understand the settings of your camera, which is your speed, your aperture, and the ISO. And the ISO, it's something that it's actually it helps with the brightness and the darkness of your photography. If your ISO is not really balanced, your lighting might be very, very correct. But if you don't have a correct camera setting, I can tell you're not going to get what you want. And I can tell you, no light is poor. Like, okay, I can snap a picture. To you, it might look very dark, but to me, I have what I want to achieve in my head. And that's why you see some pictures that you just feel like one angle of the picture is very lightened and some parts are very dark. And when you see it, it will still come out well. That's because the person actually knows what he or she wants to achieve before taking the pictures. So okay, light balancing, like these things. When it comes to photography, these things are not just it's not a course you can actually know in a day. Like you have to take it one after the other, because lightning is another topic on its own. It's something you really need to understand. It's something you can't use one lightning, like one light setting for different angle. The kind of lightning here is different from the kind of lightning here, and the kind of light setting I'm using here would be very different from what I'm using here. And this is why you have to study and work with your lighting so well. And one thing about photography, as bright as this place is, I can still snap and my picture will still be very dark. That's just simple truth of it. That's why you have to have your camera settings, your light settings. You have to balance everything. And again, so you might still take pictures, and with your bad light settings and your bad camera settings, you might still take your picture and still, if you are very good enough, you can still correct it on your system while editing. And this is why we are like everything works in the end, but what you capture is what you edit. Like, because if you didn't do your light settings very well and you have a very darkened picture, you take it to your system. Fine, you might actually light it up, but you know that in editing we still have we have different things in editing. We have three different things in editing. We have the shadow, we have the highlight, and we have the moderate. And if these three things, you can still once you don't get it right on your camera, if you go on your system, this is where you will know that I don't fuck up for here. You understand? You get it, because there's no how you want to maybe brighten or darken a picture. It will still show. It's either it shows in your highlights. It's either your highlight is too much, and when your highlight is too much, you see that the pictures, it won't just go well. You will understand it on your camera, on your system. So majorly on photography, you have to really, 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 really understand your camera settings, your light setup, and your editing. Okay, let me say something briefly on lighting. Lighting, we have two different lighting. We have the natural lighting and we have the artificial lighting. What do I mean by natural lighting? This is an artificial lightning. Your natural lighting is is when you're outside is your natural lighting, like the ray of sun, the weather, and all of that. That's your natural lighting. And if you are not one thing about natural lighting, fine, it can be so weird that we need sun, we need sun. But I can tell you, a professional photographer don't really need harsh sun. We don't need sun. Because once you snap on that sun, my brother, you will still understand when you are editing because the picture will be too harsh. It will be too harsh. So most times, most photographers, I don't know, I'm not saying the photographers that are just doing photography, but people that are really doing photography like professionally, they don't really need too much sun to capture a natural picture. And another thing is, even the fact that you are outside and all of that, you still need your artificial light because your artificial light, there's kind of color it will add to your picture that will beautify it. And those are the things we need to understand about photography. I think from here, maybe with other classes, or probably we'll still have another section. I think I can actually, I will be able to protest more on it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We are sorry that we have to imagine a camera. Some of you already imagine camera, how it's going to look like, and all of it like that. So, like I said, this is just us trying to whet our appetite, start a journey, because to be honest with you, no matter how long we are going to spend today, we cannot do 1% of this whole thing. So it's going to be helping us with some little bit of video, illustration, and all of those things. And we are going to have the platform where at least some of the opportunities that it will have, maybe some people can, maybe you are interested in photography. You can just say, anybody that is interested, I will be going to so place today. If you like, come with me. He's a very big man. He's one of the standby photographer for The Experience, on a yearly basis. He always go there. He will now be snapping pictures and be sending to us at home. How he has, snapped with some celebrities. So it's very important. Now that is image, right, in this still form. You have heard before that a picture is 1,000 words, right? When you see a picture, you can say a lot of things about it. And most of the time, the basic thing about media is perception. If you see the behind the scene of some of the things that you watch online, you'll be amazed. They only create them out of nothing, and they make you to believe that this is the reality. And all you just need is to believe that this is the reality, and you'll get it. All right? So we want us to understand that all of this would happen in their different successions. Well, we're going to have the opportunity to see, especially the live streaming gadgets, the audio, so all of those things, we are going to see them. Those ones are physically available at the moment. And subsequently, we are going to also have some other videos that will also buttress our learning going forward. So that's very important. I just quickly want to speak to social media, and all of it, just in a brief. When we look at the internet, right? The internet has appetite, right? Internet has appetite. And when you are able to identify the camera to when you moved, they want to see, they want to feel it that yes, some of the time they become your online family member. Yeah, we knew him when he started then. All of those things, they are just stories. They want to be a part of it. So don't hide the storyline from them. Don't just, carry the food. That's why you see many restaurants that are doing very well. Their kitchen is beside the restaurant because it's part of the story, right? You see that, oh, this is where they are making the food from, right? You can have a feel that this is where they are making the food from so that you have that confidence that this is the quality that I'm eating. So it's not just that they are bringing it. So some of the time, you need to understand that. And when it comes to content, the best content creators are not people who wait until the night that they want to share content before they research. you have to be a container of content. You have to perpetually carry yourself as a container of content. Content idea can come from anywhere. It can come from anything. All you just need to do, you need to be able to define your audience and now begin to nurture them, right? Some of them will do as if they are not seeing you. You know, for me personally, there are a lot of people that is when they reply your status, you know that they actually viewed it. You don't know they are viewing it. So there are a lot of people like that in the anonymous, in the invisible, right? But when you eat that, when you strike that chord, it will make some sense to them. They will respond that, oh, they saw it. They can respond directly or indirectly, but you know that it's striking the chord for them. And so content is now easier now with the advent of ChatGPT, Abby. A lot of people just type on ChatGPT. But, you know, the funny thing is we can tell the difference between ChatGPT and the real this thing. And sometimes in your ability to be able to send the right prompts is now the new way of using those, you know, AI, and you get the best. When you don't know how to set the natural linguistic programming language, right? The prompting of natural language. There are certain language that when you give it, it will come in a particular way for you 100 times when you are prompting. All of those things, we are going to have, you know, proper understanding of them. Just we'll have documents that will share with us for us to be able to understand all of those things. That you can use ChatGPT, and to be honest, nobody will be able to pick it, right? You know, sometimes one of the things I do with my ChatGPT is I let my ChatGPT to know me. So I would just ask, I say, who do you think I am with all these questions that I've been asking you all this while? I ask, and you just tell me, oh, you are so kind of person. I can see that this. Because I want you to have a unique mind. When I ask it question, it will now reply with the mindset that this is this kind of person. You need to introduce yourself to your AI machine. What you want to do with it, what you want to achieve with it. You don't just bring questions, spam and drop it. You don't just bring prompts and drop it. You need to introduce yourself that, okay, this is where I am. I want to achieve so. I'm a content creator. You know, I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do that. You need to introduce yourself to it. Give it the questions, you know, get the answers. When you're not satisfied, tell it why you're not satisfied, and all of it like that. But more importantly, the true place for content is inside of us. Wisdom lives within. Wisdom lives within. And where the wisdom is coming from is not just from inspiration, right? Not just from, oh, God told me to do it like this. It's also coming from what you expose yourself to. Exposure is very important. You know why they say you should dream big? Because you most likely will not be able to do more than what you have seen. So the idea of possibility is very relatable when we connect it to our sight. You will not be able to produce the kind of content that you have not thought of, that you have not seen in your mind. Sometimes your content will be coming out as a hybrid of many things that you have seen. So you can say, my own is a different one. It's not different. It's just that you are able to pick this one, attach it to this one, attach it to this one, and you are now able to serve it in a different way to your target audience, right? Now, your target audience is very important. It's like markets. is like market. When you go to the market to sell the things that people will not buy, it will look like you are not doing well. But when you see the person that is selling the things that people need, the person will look like, oh, the best person in the market. So don't sell what you like, sell what people like. Now, another thing you need to pay attention to now, because when we are looking at the church media, don't just assume that people like God. Don't assume that people like God. You know, sometimes the entitlement mindset of, maybe it's God, you know, turn that we fire them if they don't like it, if they don't comment, if they don't do this thing. God will just be looking at you. I did not send you a message. You understand? You must know how to carry the good news in a good way. Because we are pictures, we are picture human beings. We see and interpret things in pictures. So what we see is what we explain to our mind. That, okay, did you see that thing? Oh, this is it. This is it. So you need to understand that your content has a lot to do with your exposure. What you have seen will reflect in what you are going to project. So expose yourself to as much as possible content. And I also like the top 10 rule. Top 10 rule. Top 10 rule. Anything you want to do, anything at all you want to do, look for the top 10 that are doing well at it already. In your region, in your nation, in the world. Top 10 that are doing well at it. Anything at all you want to do, just look for the top 10 that are doing well at it. You may not be able to, they may not have a classroom where they will teach you their principles of how they have achieved it. But whatever it is that has made them the top 10, soon will rub off on you if you are close to what they are doing. All right? And this is a question you must always ask at any point in time. You know, yesterday I was teaching some people emotional intelligence, you know, and I told them that this is one thing you need to take note of. When you want to switch over to the place of control at whatever you are doing, figure out how that thing is done. Don't just be interested in what is done. All right? Don't just be interested that, look at this picture, very fine, and you move away. No. Ask the question of how. How? It is when you ask the question of how it is done that you begin to enter into the realm of control. If you don't want to know how it is done, you cannot have control. Your creativity will not come. How? Don't just, oh, wow, nice. But ask how. So let that be part of your mind framework. That how are they achieving this result? At whatever you want to learn. Look for the top 10 and ask the question, how did they achieve it? Sometimes you may see the answers directly. Sometimes the answers may be indirect, but don't bother. Just make sure that you remain inquisitive. Ask how. Ask how. All right? So, and when we become, because everything we are doing actually is content, right? You know, in written, in audio, in video, and also in pictures, right? They are all content, but they have their own time. They have their own audience. They have their seasons, right? Sometimes we are able to link them together and create something awesome for people to enjoy. But you need to pay attention to it that when you have your content, you must be ready to tell story with them. Story will usually have a plot, right? Now, when there is a plot, there must be an actor. There must be the beginning, there must be the body, and there must be an ending. So before you put out any content you are putting out that does in your mind does not have a part 2, does not have continuity potential, is not complete yet. Any content you are putting out that does not have continuity potential is not complete. That okay, can we have part 2? Can we have part 3? Can we have a revised edition? Can I post something again and I'll say, you know, if you saw my previous post, you understand this. You know, that continuity must be there. It's a mindset that must reflect in everything. Because if you yourself don't have continuity in your mindset, in projecting whatever you are projecting, it means that you are not ready for your audience to be loyal to your content. Because it is the continuity of the audience that makes them to come back. They want to see. You understand? They want to see more and all of it like that. All right? So can we just rise up on our feet and stretch our leg a bit? I'm feeling that some of us are getting tired. Just rise up on your feet, stretch your leg, you know, stretch your leg. Greet somebody beside you. Ask for their name. That it's nice to meet you. Ask for their name. Or say it's nice to meet you. I will ask you the name of the person you met. How many people did you meet? Meet people. Meet people. Some of us, we will forget the names now. I will ask. Don't worry. Maybe at the end, I will ask. If you still remember the name at the end. All right. So, okay, don't worry. You will see after service. So when we look at content, there are a lot of frameworks, right? Church content is different anyway. It's different from the secular or conventional content. But you need to have the mindset of a proper content creator, right? Copywriting. Do you have an idea of copywriting at all? You don't have an idea of copywriting? Do you have an idea of copywriting? Okay. So copywriting is just simple, right? It's like taking and forcing the horse to drink water through any means possible. You understand? It's not just sufficient. You know, there must be a call to action. You understand? What do you want us to do? Jesus Christ, at every point in time, people will ask him, what then shall we do? Call to action. If you have not gotten to that level in your ministry, in your whatever, that people don't come and ask you and say, hey, what shall I do now? You understand? You are not a good content to God. All right? That sounds very hard. If people have not come to you for anything and ask you that, what then shall I do in this aspect of my life to do this, to do that, you are not a good content by God's standard. People should not be able to just walk past you and not see something good in your life, that it looks too good to believe, that they now need to ask you that, I've been looking at you, I thought I would be able to unravel this thing, but it's like I need to ask you. All right? So that's the idea for content creation. That's the idea for content creation. There are different frameworks for copywriting that you actually, these things, you need them as mindset. When you have them as mindset, you just realize that you are unconsciously tailoring your content, your writing in that direction. Right? There are some of them. I'm trying to read ADH. There are different, this thing. One, copywriting frameworks now. it will show you the problem, show you the alternatives for solving it. Then it will now show you that this is the solution that we have. You must be able to create that story, make the story happen, and provide the solution in the body of the story or in the lifetime of your story, right? And that's very important. So concerning that one, we are going to be having some remote trainings that it will help everybody. Actually, this is it. Writing is a skill of success, right? You must be a good writer to succeed in life. Because every time the hunter have to write the story, it will never favor the lion. All right? If the story has to be written for you, on your behalf all the time, it will come to a time that they will write what you didn't want them to write. So you may not be an active writer, you may not be a commercial writer, but at least to save and protect your own integrity, you should be able to communicate fluently in writing and also in speaking, right? So we are going to have that continuous class where we are going to be able to learn and teach some things about writing. That's very important. For social media, there's not too much thing I want to talk about now. They have different social media platforms have different contents that fly on them. They have different contents. Now, the most viral of them now that diverse content fly now is TikTok. It's not too strict about kind of content, right? But when you check other of the platforms, they have different contents that fly on them. And there is also the place of timing. It's not when you just feel like you post. You don't just wake up anytime and post. Because it must move from your inner to the outside. It must move from the people that are in your cycle to other people in their own cycle. So timing and timing is important, and there's also, you need to respect algorithm, right? Algorithm of each platform. They have their choice of words, they have things that will trend, they have the things that you should not do, and they have things that you should do. So all of those things, you need to pay attention to them. But across all of those media, they are all interested in quality. They are all interested in quality. All right? And that's why we need to pay attention to quality. Your sound, you want to do sound, you want to do video, quality. Try your best to do quality. Pictures, do quality. All right? And how many of us know Canva? You use Canva very well. Why? Why don't you use Canva? You don't know how to use it. You don't need it. Okay. You have to start creating content. Right? So Canva is, has really helped a lot of people in this world. Me, I'm one of those people, right? Very quick and easy design. I'm gone. You understand? It will really help you. There are some things that when you want to say them, you should not just type on your status. You just type like this, and you are gone. You should be able to, put them. All right, sir. You should be able to put them into something very sweet, very interesting. That when they see, oh, this person put in effort to make it happen, right? So there are a lot of those things like that you'll be able to take advantage on through those platforms. So don't just write, don't write on a sheet of paper and you now snap it and send online. People will just walk past it. What's doing this one? You understand? If you do at all, it must be in a creative way. People still do content that way. I've seen some stuff like that. But the actual thing is the creativity is important. Very, very important. Very, very important. You, no matter where you want to stand in the media, right, you must be a creative person. And you have to behave like you are writing story and you are sharing content. All right? Whether you are doing photography, you are doing videography, anything, as long as it's leaving you and going to other people, you need to think like a storyteller. You need to behave like a storyteller. It's a content, and when it reaches the people you have sent it to, will they accept it? Will they take it? Will they enjoy it? That's very important. So, like I said, we are going to reach back to us through WhatsApp. We're going to have a place where we can continue our learning. All of this that we are doing today, because of time, we already lost a lot of time, to start up. We are going to have time to answer questions, continuously. It's just going to be like a mentorship, avenue for us to be able to learn real time, right? We will expect you to come with challenges that you are facing while you are trying to execute some things, and we are able to put you through from experience. And, as much as possible, we are also able to help one another to leverage and learn to become better. So we are going to be having a brief, about live streaming, and everything that pertains to maybe, the connection, the audio. It's not a crime to use phone, to live stream, but there are certain things that should be understood. Now, if you want to leave the phone stage to another stage, there are certain things that you have to do, right? If you want to leave this phone stage to using camera and all of it like that, you must have very reliable gadgets, laptop that have good. I remember then we had one laptop then when we wanted to start streaming. The laptop is a very nice laptop, right? But when we used it, trying to use it to stream, that time, you will just see it will not show color. It will not show color. It will just be there. And you know why? It does not have graphics card. So we did not know then. We just use it. What's wrong with this thing now? Until now, through research, we now found out that, all of those experiences, you will not go through them. We have gone through them already for you. So it's just for you to learn and leverage. So there are different stages. Any stage. We started with phone too. We were using phone at some point. We just put the phone like this. Very funny position in that time. Put the phone. We now put after phone that we now started using green background. Now put green background. Our green background that time, it was like three different kind of green color. Different. So along the line of the sewing, it will show. It will now be showing glittering something like this. Because why we're using green background was for us to be able to change the background that we have. Using the chroma key, you now change it like to what you want. You can bring in images. It will now look like, it's a different place. But then it was not the best, right? We didn't get the best out of it when we were starting. But as we continue, we were able to learn and get all of those necessary things that we need to get. I would like him to come up now so that I will come and talk more about the live stream, all of those audio, this thing. Then afterwards, we'll have our question time, answer time. Then we'll take an excursion to see those things. You see how they operate, how they work, and you'll be able to at least have an idea. And whatever stage that you are currently, we'll now see how we can help walk you through the stages, come up to the level you want to get to, and get the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate us. They've not been speaking as a video person, though I'm a very shy person, so they don't see my face in church because I'm always in my secret place. So I will speak as a video person. So what is one of those things you can see me doing now. I am fixed in a place, not stressing my cameraman. Are we together now? At this point, I am not emotional. So if I am handling camera in church and pastor is praying, you may never see me close my eyes. Because I'm a camera person. You know, he said earlier on, when we don't know then, this, our camera, it fell down. It taught us a lot of lessons. And one of those lessons is, treat your camera as your eyes. The same way you will care for your eyes, care for your camera. So since then now, the camera has never returned to the original state. So, I am Francis, for those that don't know me before now. So, my brother from Adoration, we have been chatting for some times now. It's nice to have you. So let me just quickly say one or two things about the questions that we asked before we now go into video production itself. Video production is large, is massive. It will take you away from yourself. You know, after the church production, you will need to edit videos. And the process of editing videos is so time consuming. So you need to be ready. You know, yesterday we are with Ark of God, we are at home with one of our men in church. So two of them look at me and say, I am fresh. So later on, I now begin to look at myself. It seems I am really fresh. Oh. I now say, I will be fresh because I don't go out. You know, it is difficult for you to come home and not find me. I said I'm in Ireland for the training we just started. So that means only 3 days in this year I have been outside. Every other days. And after the training, till maybe another training, I will not go out. I am busy I do programming. I am busy working on videos at home. So it is better you shoot good quality video from the source to reduce your stress while editing. You can see I am not working now. I am fixed in one position. So my editing is automatically simple. But when they were speaking, they walk around. It is me that want to edit the video that will suffer the pain. This camera that we have here can still not get that quality if you don't know how to bring out the quality. And I can say at this point that the quality of your audio is should be better than the quality of your video. If your audio is not good, people will not play your video. Even if an angel is speaking through you. So to get attention, pay attention to audio. So in our case, what do we do to improve on the quality of our audio? Because we've not switched to digital mixer. We've been able to bring out the sound from the analog mixer into a sound card that change it to a digital format for us. So we now from the sound card via the USB take it into the system. So from the system now, on the software we are using to stream, we now had plugins, we had compressors, we had equalizer, you know, we had many other features. We had reverberation, reverb on it to actually improve on it. So if we now switch from this speaker to that audio for us, we will not believe that, you mean this audio is inside the church, but you are not giving it to church people. But we have taken our time to work on it. So I say quality audio is better than quality video. Because when people click to play the video, it's the audio they will listen to. The video is just virtual, moving around. But they need to hear the sound. What is this person saying per time? So, okay, I spoke a lot about content creation. You are the content. you need to always have a peaceful mind so that you can produce a good quality content. So now let's talk about church video streaming. Church video streaming. And to talk about that, we have broken it into three. There are three means in which you can live stream from your church. We should not shy away from the reality of phone. The first option now is we can use our phones to stream, and the quality will still be very, very nice if we get it right. If we get it right, we can stream with our phones. We can stream with one camera, with two cameras. We can as well upgrade to have many cameras. So in this case, if we want to stream with our phones, for instance, on my phone now, I have an app that is called Iron app. I don't know, you are using it, sir? Okay, so like the app now, we can just connect it to a Wi-Fi network, and the computer we want to use to stream, we connect computer to the same network, so that any video we have on phone, we can send it over Wi-Fi to that system. So when it's now on the system, we can now stream. But we need to be mindful of the quality of the network. Because if the network is not fine, it will affect what you are streaming. As well, we can stream with cameras. For instance, we start with this one camera. So when we started with one camera, we may not need to do a lot of investments. So what we did is we connected the camera to a capture card. I have two capture cards here to show us. I think then we have three capture cards then. One of it is HDMI to AV. So this is a capture card. So this camera now, that is the second option for streaming now. If you are using a camera and you don't have the investment to get a video switcher, which may be expensive, you can get a capture card. You connect the output of the camera to the capture card, be it USB or HDMI, depends on the kind of capture card you get. You now plug the capture card into the system, the computer that you are using for streaming. The computer now will receive the signal from the camera and you can stream. Another option now is our own case here. We have 4 cameras here currently. This is camera 1, camera 2. There is one other camera there. This is another camera. Capture card will not be able to process every of this camera. You now need a video switcher. So what we do is we plug in all the 4 videos into the switcher. We preview and we position them. We now switch from one to the other, which is more or less of a professional approach to doing it. So now we already have the 3 assets we can use for streaming. If a camera person wants to capture me, for instance now, I believe you'll be capturing my head to my shoulder. That is head to shoulder shot. Because I am making a point. People need to really see me. People need to feel me. People need to listen to me because I am communicating to them. So it may capture me from head to shoulder. But in my head, there is something that is called headroom. There should be small space, not wide space. When we get there, we will see. There should be small space like the size of my hand. If I put my hand on my head like this, and the last point where the video ends, this space now is called an headroom. That is from this point now to this point, because it's doing a close shot of me. But this close shot now, if I am walking, it will not be convenient for him to capture again. Then he can switch. He can capture me from the base of my shirt, from my waist up, from this middle up. That is another capture he can pick up. If I am now walking too fast, he can capture me from head to toe. it will capture the whole of my body because I am now walking very fast. It want to do an head-to-toe capture of me. And while capturing, it is necessary we know that the image we are capturing must always be centralized. How do I explain it? We should know centralized. I must always be in the middle every time. But there may be instances, maybe, okay, I am now doing a presentation of this pulpit. Let's say I'm doing a presentation of this pulpit. It will not just capture only me. It needs to capture this pulpit as well. So, as I am standing this way, it should reduce the space behind me because it's not only a single image it's capturing. It should capture both me and this pulpit that I'm trying to speak about. It may be human being. It may be anything per time. So the people that are watching the video needs to see what I am speaking about. So now in our setting, in our own live streaming, we now have this camera. What we normally do is we position it at the back. Why do we position it at the back? So that people that are not in church, they will miss being in church. It will do a full church capturing. When people are worshiping, their hands are lifted up. When people are dancing, it captures them. So that those that are watching online, they will feel like, oh, I am missing service today. I am missing church today. That is the essence. That is, we call it our audience camera. It captures the entire audience. Another thing I would like us to pay attention to is, while live streaming in church, you don't just capture anybody. Capture people based on their emotion. When they are singing praise and worship, capture the person that is dancing. Don't capture those that are seated. When they are praying, capture those that are praying, not those that are gisting inside the church. Because in essence, what you are doing with church live streaming is you have another church online. You are the pastor of that church. You are the usher of that church. So if you want those online to be sleeping, you have to capture those that are sleeping inside the church, which is not good. So if you want them to be active online, capture those that are active inside the church. So you are not just streaming, you have a church online. And thank God for how God has saved us. Our church online is way more bigger than our physical church. If you had our number on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, on X together, we are more than times 10 of our physical member. How will that happen? Because of the experience we have given to those people. Now, we have talked about our 3 different approaches of doing this thing. How then do we stream what you have captured on your video for the people online? You can either use a software encoder or you can use an hardware encoder. A software encoder is just a software on your computer. We have many of them. There is OBS, there is vMix, there is this new one. I don't know if you have heard about it, Med Studio. It's a very powerful software now, Med Studio. There is Pro Presenter. There is Restream. There are many of them. You have to install them on your computers for you to use them. For you to use them, we should be reliant on the configuration of your computer. But to actually go to a professional level, it is better you use an hardware encoder. Because hardware encoders are basically dedicated for video streaming. We have one now that we've been finding it difficult to connect with, so I forgot to bring it this morning. It's just a small portable device. You just plug in video, you plug in audio into it. The only thing it's doing is to stream. It's not doing anything. At times, when you are using computer to stream, your computer will still, your software is still running on it. Your browser is still running. Every of those other things you have are running. And they are stressing the computer. But if you are using an hardware encoder, which is a separate device, separately, you have more reliable streaming on it. But now, how about the challenge of internet? So basically, if you are streaming, from our experience, it is better you use a wired network connection. Yes, Wi-Fi is good, but wired network is 100% better. When we started streaming, our audio first did not connect. We now say, oh, let's restart the system. We restarted the system, the audio came back. The streaming still continued, but we have to regenerate the stream key. We can do that in a twinkling of an eye. Why? Because we are on a wired network connection. For instance now, even the wired network we are using, we don't use normal RJ45. We are using Cat6 cable, which is, I think, 14 times faster than the normal RJ45 connection. So it is better you use wired network. Now, let me quickly say this. As media people, when we are doing media for our church, if you are just starting up, the church will not accept many of your ideas. You will say you want to buy this. You want to buy that. They will not respond. So be ready to spend your own money. No, we have been saying we want to change our mixer since we started, not even now. But yesterday I was just at home. I was editing one video, coming downstairs to pick him up. But I have a 24 inches computer already set down that I will be using it for audio. So the battery was not charged, so I put it there with me charging it. So as I carried the computer to take to the house office where I normally kept it, the man called me. So when we entered now, I don't just know how it happened. We started talking about what we are doing in church. So talk now carried us to digital mixer. So we now talk like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. He now said, okay, no problem. That how much will it cost? That I should quickly go and check. Send it to him so that he can quickly arrange the money to buy it. Even, it's because I said it will be more expensive in Nigeria. Because as I died yesterday was insisting with me that can't we get it in Alaba? So if I said we can get it in Alaba, we should have gotten it now. But we have been waiting on these things for the past 5 years, for the past 4 years, for the past 3 years. It was because we don't have that. That is why we go for sound card. We have even used small capture card that did not even work for one service. But all this while, we have been, just like the cameras we are using now, when we first saw the idea to pastor, we said we need 3. We needed 3. Our pastor said, hope 3 will not be too much. That let us go for 2 now. We now said, okay, yeah, let's do 2. We now brought it to church. Pastor read the list to church people that media want to do upgrade. They want to get 2 cameras. They need to get cable. They need to get the controller, get everything. The funniest thing is, it's only one person in church that volunteered to support us. And till today, the person did not bring the money. So the media team with the pastor, we now got it ourselves. So when the camera arrived, pastor was so excited. Pastor now gave us money to buy another one, which is the 3rd one. That is this. Bring that one for me. That is the camera now. That is, we can see where we are coming. Like this camera we started with. It is we that have the idea of media that bought this one inside the COVID lockdown ourselves. It is after purchasing it now that one man now has a camera to sell. He brought it to us. We go and show pastor. The pastor now paid for it. What I'm saying in essence is, you will, at the beginning, you will spend a lot of your money. Just like the 4K cables we are using that we bought ourselves. One cable then, when Naira and dollar have not started fighting, is 45,000. So we bought 2 cable Just only wire 30 meters, 90,000. We have, we even bought spear down that time before our camera arrived. When the camera arrived, the one we bought did not work. We now have to be using the cables for this TV, and we still have one there. All on our money. Yes, it's our money, but we are doing it to the glory of God. Just as Ark of God said earlier on, when pastor preach and someone is blessed, we are stakeholders in that blessing. When someone gives his life to Christ now, and there is joy in heaven, there is celebration in heaven, we are part of those that made heaven to be happy. So many a times, media people may not be praying in church, but God still blesses them because of what they do behind the scene. Now, when we get to heaven, there will be many stars on our crown. And people that know us in church, they will say, it's Ojoro. That what happened? They don't do anything else. They sit down in church. But God will now open their eyes to see that even your process of coming to church is through these people. The sin you wanted to commit so time, that you watch so video, it is these people that edited the video. So that means what we are doing, we really need to pay good attention to it. Your church may be small. Don't do things in a small way. Don't do it anyhow. So now, our camera we have, this camera is called a PTZ camera. We came up with this idea when some of our cameramen, when God blesses people, they become big. When they are no longer available in church again, they come late to church. When we are doing Wisdom for Marital Success, is the host. I think this will be the first time I'm speaking to a microphone in church. And Ark of God, this year, I'm always inside that secret place. When we are doing a 1 hour program, they started to complain for him that it should be 1 hour, now it should not go beyond 1 hour. So we now say, there should be things we can do that we don't need camera people. So God help us, we stumble into PTZ cameras. So with this camera now, we don't need cameraman. Only one person, as he said, can control 256 of them with the controller. So that means instead of every of this stress, cameraman 1, cameraman 2, what thing happen now? Why you no come church? This, that. We just our controller. We can do anything. And this one can rotate 350 degrees. You can go all the way like this. Just like this one that is here. It can capture everything from the front like this. It can go back. It can go back. The only thing it cannot capture is the back of this pole. Like that other one that is there. Everything inside this church, that camera can capture it. Without, cameraman, they can fall under the anointing. Though we have told ourselves, camera people don't fall. And no matter the kind of prayer they are praying in church, don't close your eyes. No matter what. Like me now, it's very hard for me to pray in church when they are praying because I'm busy on camera. But outside of the church service, I replay those videos, play them. I can say I pray more than the number of times everybody in church used to pray because I know I did not pray in church, though the blessing will come. So we as cinematographer, let me use that term now, we are the light of the church. And as the scripture says, if you have a light and you hide it under a bushel, what will happen? Anybody knows what will happen? The world will not see the light. So when you now capture every of these videos inside the church, you now go outside of the church to start editing. You edit, there's this, our favorite Bible verse. A lazy man will not roast what he took from hunting. our Bible study now, we are now in that point. The two brothers, the one that sold his birthright because he was hungry. The father now want to give the blessing. He now told him, my son, Esau, go and get me a venison. Prepare it for me to eat so that my soul can bless you. You know, one of the questions we should now ask is, this man is a hunter. He has been hunting from the beginning of his life, from age 20 till, let's say, age 39, 40, that the father want to bless him. But he did not have any animal at home that is rearing. So every time, he will always go to the bush to hunt. Every time, he will always go to the bush to hunt. For instance, now I have a sheet of paper here. You know, this should be one of, this is, Ark of God, this is the first public training we'll be doing. Let's say in 3-4 years. We did one then. That one self is more or less. Praise the Lord. Okay, as I said, that one is more or less in-house. But this is the first public version. There are a lot of people that join us online. You know, South Africa, Kenya, US. Many people are watching us. So what I'm saying in essence is, a lazy man will not roast what he took from hunting. We have 100 topics here already prepared for church media training. Your light. How do you position your light? Background. Sound automation. Every of those things. The topics are here already. How do you project your lyrics? Are we together, please? So now, when we produce every of this content in church, if you don't edit them in short format, in a summary of the 1 hour preaching that pastor did, you should make it available in 1 minute video. Then you are a lazy church media person. And the Bible said, a lazy man will not roast what he took from hunting. That means a lazy man will not edit. A lazy man will not make better what he took from hunting. Now, if you have not entered this church before, and you see the videos we produce, you will not believe it's from this church. No, we just had our traditional and native affairs service. That's why we change our background. Before we put this one there to occupy it, when people see, like Gospel Loop, when he saw it, he said, we have installed LED screen in church. I did not tell him anything. But, for instance, behind this one, we still have another design. So we can move this away completely. You see another beautiful design, map of the whole world. Because we don't want to be like the lazy man that will not roast what he took from hunting. We don't, Apostle Paul said, I counted not myself to have apprehended. No matter how good you are today, it's not good enough for tomorrow. So after every of the videos you produce, you need to edit them. Don't just leave it that way. Do color grading. He was working on one video one time, and as I smiled, I now collected the audio of his video from him, and now help him to re-edit the audio. Now attach the audio back to his video. So don't just say, oh yes, maybe they say we should be editing our video. We just cut clips. No. Do subtitle. Remove noise from, video have noise. Remove noise from your video, like our church. I think people always fight with the media people because we insisted that all these windows will be closed there. is not good for our video. That the lightning is affecting what we are doing. For when we do the site cover for like almost 2 weeks, we refuse to open the window. And we know that God is still taking us back to that point. When we install AC now, we will close everywhere. We will now show people the difference between now and when we close everything. People will fight your idea, but always stand for what is right in church media production. Many a times we do graphic designs and be open to rebuke, be open to correction. We will do graphic design. I can be seated on Canva 2 hours, 3 hours doing a design, and I will show Ark of God. Ark of God will say, no. Immediately he said, no. I know that it's either I give him system to do it or I do it myself. I have done a design. I'm so happy. I show to pastor. Pastor say, Ogbeni, this one will not work. So we have to start all over again. I see complainers. When people complain, they are not saying you are not good. They are not saying you are bad. They only want you to get better. And if you are not open to receiving feedback, for instance, this place not being fed is a feedback for us. Yes, we can do handbills. We can do banners. We can do radio adverts. So imagine we do radio adverts. We do banners. We do handbill. We will not have place to sit down here. Because churches need to learn these things that we are doing. But they not being here is a response to us. That why don't you do handbill? Why don't you send letters to churches? Why don't you do banners? Why don't you go to radio stations to announce this? Yes, you promote it online. But it will be better if people come physically. Are we together, please? I'm just trying to tell us. Be open to feedback. When people are not talking, know what they are saying. If you share video, if you upload video, and people are not sharing it, the video is not good. We have a record for our live stream. Every live stream we made, we have a record for it. What is the essence of the record? The essence of the record is if we live stream on Tuesday, and let's say the total number of people that join, okay, let me use this day now, 30th of March, 30/03/2025. The live views that we have there on Facebook is 132 views. So when we now come back on Tuesday to do Bible study, we need to take the number of count that we have had between that Sunday to Tuesday to see what has happened between Sunday and Tuesday. So when we check again, the number now is 336. That is almost times 3 of what happened in Sunday on Tuesday. And we have just Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, just 2 days. So if, for instance, the number of live views is 132, and we come back on Tuesday, and the number is 150, that means people are not going back to watch what we are doing. We now ask ourselves question. Is it that the audio is not good? Is it that the video is not good? What happened? Now we give report of audio quality, video quality, notes and feedback. We even give report of the topic of the teaching for that day. We give the report of when did the service started, when did it ended. Is it that the video is too long for people to watch? Still going back to feedback. So when you do church media, take reports, take records. When people are not sharing it, there is something wrong. When people are not liking it, there is something wrong. When the number of views are not increasing, there is something wrong. And anything that is wrong in live video, in your editings now, you can correct them. For instance, all of us now use mobile phones. you need to reframe your video, because while streaming, let's say you are streaming 1280 by 1080p, you may now need to reframe it to 827 this thing to fit into mobile resolution so that you can have more views. You now need to add subtitles. You now need to even put them in frames, that you have different frames. Maybe there was a time, one part of our popular frame is just like more or less like TV. So when people are watching the edited on their phone, it appears as if they are watching it on TV. Make it appealing. A lazy man will not roast what he took from hunting. Our videos of 5 years, if we still play it now, they are still, if not better than the one we are doing now. To us, you must not have an excuse. You must never have an, okay, if you don't have computer to edit, there is now phones. You know, I've not been a master of editing with phone, but when I use, I think it's this month, that I use CapCut on phone, I was so excited. I said, wow, this guy is nice. Now I like editing on system. So if you don't have system, you can edit on phones. CapCut is there. Simple, easy, on a go. So in essence, what am I saying? After your production in church, you still need to re-edit the video. Put them in short clips. Put them in short clips and upload on social media. Now, you may not have the luxury of time to edit. There are now different AI tools that can edit for you. You know, there is Opus Clip, Opus AI. There is Pulpit AI. There is Salmon Clip. What you just do is, if it's a YouTube video, you can copy the link, just drop it there. Or you can upload the video directly. The AI will scan through it, cut the video into section, edit it for you, add subtitle, and make it available for you. Though there are subscriptions to it. So in case you don't have the time, you can just do, I think, Salmon Clips is like $16 or how much per month. So you can as well use every of those things. I think I've tried enough to, someone that doesn't speak to microphone, I've tried enough to give us a basic background knowledge of church live streaming. We can do a lot of great things, but let's all do them to the glory of God. Don't look at the people in the church. No, you are not doing it for them. You are doing it for God. If God see this thing we are doing, like the one we are doing now, will God be happy for us? Yes, we put this together. Will God be happy? If God watch this video that we are producing, will God be happy with this video? For instance now, 2 cameras are active here capturing us, but we still have one spare camera that is recording as backup. So in case anything happened to this video, we still have a backup video here. And fortunately enough, nothing will happen to this video. But yet, we can be better. We can improve because we are doing it for God. And if we are doing it for God, we need to do it well because we know He will reward us. So let me encourage us as church media people. We will face a lot of attacks. You will face a lot of criticism. Many people will not like you, but they will not be able to tell you. But don't look at people's face. Don't listen to what people say. Otherwise, you may not do what you want to do for God. So I don't know, can we take few questions, if there are any, before we show us our setting and demonstrate those things that I was trying to explain the other time, shoulder up, your waist, your full capture, and how we position in the middle and show us the tools, few of the tools we are using, our video switcher, our monitor screen, the computer we are using before now. Before now, we have used a lot of computers, as he said. A computer that lost color. The capture card we are using, every of those things, how we are able to work on our audio to improve on it. We can even listen to the audio. So I don't know. Do we have any question? Okay, sir.
Thanks so much for that explanation. My name is James. I'm actually interested in live streaming video. So I want to know if we have different methods of live streaming for different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram. Do you have any, is it the same person which for all of them, or they have a particular one for it?
Basically, like if you are streaming to YouTube, to Facebook, their streaming is basically in vertical format, which is the standard production that these our big cameras will give us. Vertical format. That is 1280 by 1080. Vertical like this. Vertical format like this. Just as I am now. If you are capturing me on video now, my head will be here, the body will be here, there will be spaces in this side. But if you are streaming to Instagram, if you are streaming to TikTok, it's now horizontal like this. So the spaces will be reduced. I will be shrink to the middle. I will be taller there. So that's just the difference. But the standard video format for streaming, 1080 by 1280 by 1080 piece. That piece just pixel. 1280 by 1080 pixel. And in streaming, let me just say this one. From experience, we have seen that it's more convenient, it's more reliable to stream to YouTube than to stream to any social media platform, because YouTube is built basically for videos. But when other platforms see that COVID came, people are now doing video, they now bring in video into their system so that they will not lose out. But stream to where you have more of your church audience. If the majority of your church members are on X, Twitter, stream to Twitter. If they are on Facebook, stream to Facebook. If they are on Instagram, stream to Instagram. But you can still stream to those platforms so that you can get new members. Like we now, our TikTok has been growing very well recently. But many of our people are not on TikTok. But we are getting a lot of people from TikTok to God. So we should not just leave TikTok. We are on TikTok. Like AudioMac, every of the audios we produce in church, they are on AudioMac. So when people are going to work, they can be listening to the audio. They can download it on their phones permanently. We no longer need to save our audios. We are storing them on AudioMac. So stream to where you have your members, but still make effort to stream to other platforms. You may not even be able to stream to those other platforms. You can still upload those videos to those platforms so that you can reach more people there. Do I try, sir? Okay. And you have questions, sir?
Thank you. So my question is around streaming, and what would you say around streaming to multiple channels at the same time? Whereby you want to stream to, I know that just like you mentioned, YouTube is like the major or professional for streaming, but Facebook as well, they kind of work hand in hand. More like you can, it's the same kind of setup, copy and paste, streaming key, all of those things. But I think for a while, we've been trying to do Instagram as well. And it looks like Instagram is more favorable when you stream with phone other than, so I don't know if there are softwares and for that.
There are plugins that can do that, like our OBS now. The plugin we are using is called, Aetium, A-I-T something, Aetium plugin. You can use it to stream to as many as possible platforms you want to stream to. Yes, after this thing you will get it. But one thing is streaming to multiple platforms is now dependent on the quality of your network. If your internet is not fine, it's better you stream to one place. If you want to be seen in other places, after your production, just upload the video in those places. For instance, our case now, currently we are streaming with our 4G router, MTN. But when we observe that network has been very bad, we will come to church with our 5G router. We have 5G router. Before we got the 5G router, we are thinking of going to buy Starlink. We now, from information, we now say that when rain is falling, Starlink network is not too good. So it's better you stick with MTN. So we switch to MTN 5G. So if you want to stream to multiple platforms, pay attention to the quality of your network. Because if your network is not good, all the streams will stop. So it is better for one stream to be going than for all the streams. Currently now, what do? We don't want to stream to Facebook. Facebook consumes a lot of data. So this video, we are streaming it to YouTube. So what we now do now is, those that may want to join us on YouTube, on Facebook, we just copy the link, put it on Facebook. So when they click on it on Facebook, they will come back to YouTube. But if we come with our 5G router, we can stream to Facebook, to YouTube at the same time. But we will consume more internet subscription. Why? It was this morning we decided to go to YouTube. Why do we decide to stream this to YouTube? Because many of the audience of this training, they are using YouTube. And we want to build our YouTube channel. Our Facebook is doing very well. But we've not been able to capture audience like that on YouTube. What can we do? We come to Facebook, we bring them back to YouTube. So, when he was talking about content creation, strategy is better than strength. Strategy is like we have our stage light now. Normally, all these lights were supposed to be in angle 45 degrees. If you want to light your image in video, 45 degrees, so that when you knock out the shadow from here, down here, this other light can bury the shadow. But in this case, our roof is not that tall. Are we now going to say because